Hi everyone, I am back with a little belated library haul. I went to the library a couple of times over the last few weeks and I got a couple of books. But I had to tell you about a couple of them. So I'm also going to do a bit of a book review at the end, sort of like I did with my manga review, but about a book because I'm obsessed with it and I think you guys would love it. And I want to talk about books with you. Um, so also, I do have another story time video coming out this weekend. I'm really excited about it. This last month in April, I had the privilege of meeting one of the authors of one of the books I had read previously. So it will be a redo. I'm going to reread that book, but I'm going to share some fun photos if I can figure that out because I did get to meet the author. So look for that. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button if you want to get notifications about that. If you don't want to do any of that, that's okay. I will post links to everything in my social media, my Instagram and everything when that is done. So look forward to that this weekend. So let me start. So first of all, my local library has craft nights, and it's like they don't really have a set schedule for it yet, but they are trying to do it more often. And my friend and I went and we did a craft. And you can head over to my Instagram to see what we made. We made these little like lanterns with pressed flowers. So definitely check your local library for free little things to do. Especially in this economy, it can be expensive going out and doing fun things. So why not go to the library and do a free activity? I know my library is not the only one that does it. So check your local library, see if they have fun crafts. If not, maybe suggest it. Maybe they just don't, know that that's a thing. I'm sure they do. So anyway, let me start with my library haul. This is by Susan Wittig Albert. This is a series called the Cottage Tales Mysteries. And these are fantastic. This is the third book in the series. This is the tale of Cuckoo Brow Wood. But these are the cutest, coziest mystery. My best friend's mother introduced me to these books, and they are so cute. The main character is Beatrix Potter, the creator of Peter Rabbit. And what's neat is the book takes a little bit of history about her actual life, Beatrix Potter's actual life, and then kind of imagines what it was like when she moved out to the English countryside from London and started living there more permanently. And not only is she the main character, but her animals play a really important role too. And we get to see things from their perspective as well, which is really fun. They're very beautifully descriptive books. So if you really like to immerse yourself and you like to use your imagination while you're reading and really kind of try and picture the scenery, this author does a really good job of that. So highly recommend the Cottage Tale Mysteries. I believe the first book is called The Tale of Hilltop Farm, which is the farm that Beatrix Potter bought with the money that she made from her books. That's a fantastic story in itself. Look up Beatrix Potter and her life. She's amazing. Big fan. But yeah, check out these books. They're cute. Let's see. My next book, I have no idea what it's about. I just saw that the author was Matt Haig, who also wrote The Midnight Library. And I don't know if any of you have read The Midnight Library, but and I'm not even being dramatic, changed my life. It's such a profound story. I think I read it was either 2020 or 2021. It was definitely during lockdown. I had a lot of time and I was working on myself a lot and learning a lot about myself. And so that book kind of came to me at a time when I think I needed it. And if you're someone like me who tends to ruminate a little too much on the past and regrets a lot of decisions and think, oh, I should have done this differently and why didn't I do this differently? All of that nonsense that we all do from time to time. But if you're somebody who really struggles with decision making because of your past choices or because you don't trust yourself, that book is all about a woman who gets the opportunity to go see what her life would have been like with just slight different choices along the way of her life. And it's fascinating. I cried a bunch at the end. The book is so good. So check out The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. And then this book, this is called The Life Impossible. I'm just going to read the little description inside because I haven't even done that yet. It says, when retired math teacher Grace Winters is left a run-down house on a Mediterranean island by a long-lost friend, curiosity gets the better of her. She arrives in Ibiza with a one-way ticket, no guidebook, and no plan. Among the rugged hills and golden beaches of the island, Grace searches for answers about her friend's life and how it ended. What she uncovers is stranger than she could have dreamed, but to dive into this impossible truth, Grace must first come to terms with her past. Filled with wonder and wild adventure, this is a story of hope and the life-changing power of a new beginning. Oh, I have a feeling this is going to be another one that'll make me cry. Matt Haig seems to be really gifted at that. But go check out this book, but read The Midnight Library as well if you get a chance, because it is life-changing. And my last book so this is actually the sequel. The first book, these books don't have individual titles. It's just called The House Witch. And the author is Delamock. I don't know if you can see. There you go. Delamock. This is the second book. As you can see, I'm almost done. But I got such an inkling to talk to you about this because I finished the first book so fast. And I was trying so hard to make it last. I was trying to milk it a little bit because I loved it. The House Witch, the first book, is about a witch named Finn. And the world that the House Witch is set in is a world where witches used to be persecuted and, burned at the stake and the whole thing. And that was only about, maybe it's 50 years before the House Witch takes place. So now the kingdom, in this kingdom, it is illegal to persecute witches. They know more about them. They know that they can't control your mind. They can't do all these things that they were presumed to be able to do. But there is still stigma around being a witch. And so Finn goes to work at the castle. He becomes the palace cook. And he's reluctant at first to tell anybody that he's a witch because he doesn't want to be chased out of the castle with a pitchfork or anything like that. He doesn't know how people will react. So he keeps his service staff really small. He only has 2 aides to help him, which is already unusual in the setting. It does come out fairly quickly that he is a witch. That is found out by another character, and it's just kind of funny how it happens. But Finn is such an interesting character. He is tall and redheaded and devilishly handsome. Everybody says, oh, he's so handsome. But he's also kind of... Okay, sorry about that. Technical difficulties. I hope that I can stitch this together fairly seamlessly in post. We'll see. But what I was saying, Finn starts out as a very kind of closed-off fellow. He doesn't really want to let a lot of people in because he doesn't want them to know his secret, and he has a bit of a troubled past. He had a difficult relationship with his father. His mother is a very talented healing witch. And so he learned a lot from her. And he is an amazing cook. So let me tell you about what a house witch is. So he's a great cook. Everything he makes is delicious and it's comforting and it's perfect. He can tell what people want, what they're craving. He can tell what people are craving in terms of food and beverages. He can also tell what they need in terms of food and beverages. So one character, all he really wants is, a bottle of wine and maybe some bread. And Finn can tell that, but he can also tell that this character needs more nourishment than that. And so that's kind of cute. He does have... The magic in this book is small magic. But there are some big displays of magic. There's a part where he helps rescue the kingdom from a water witch who kind of goes a little crazy and almost drowns everybody. And so you do get like big displays of magic occasionally. And you learn a little bit about Finn's father. He's a fire witch, and he's also just a very fiery person. Um, but most of the magic that we see in the House Witch is kind of soft and um, gentle. Like his mother's a healer and she can mend people's bones and make them feel not nauseous anymore, and all that. Um, and Finn kind of is discovering his powers as he goes along. You'll learn a little bit more about the politics and the categories of witches in this book. It's very easy to understand. Um, but it's so cute. There's so many lovely characters that you will just fall in love with. You love all the side characters are lovely. And even there's even a dynamic with some of the characters where they start out as one thing. There's a group of knights who are very misogynistic and they're bothering the kitchen aide and they're just not nice guys. And they kind of get a reality check because Finn stands up to them and helps the kitchen aide stand up to them. And they actually end up getting put in his command. They have to go and work in the kitchen for him. And it's neat to see those characters grow and change and learn. And that's how most of the characters in this book are. They'll make a first impression, but the author does a beautiful job of not sticking with that first impression. So it's like first impressions, but then they grow and they change. The characters are dynamic. Nobody's too static. There are some characters, there's maybe like 3 characters that they're bad and they're just bad. They're not nice people all the way through. And I think that's life too. Most people are dynamic and they change and they learn and they grow, but there are some people that are just kind of like meh. But this book is so cozy and the themes are cozy. I really like when people describe books or stories to me in terms of like food or beverage. And to me, the House Witch series is a warm and comforting meal after a very difficult day or a very difficult time. I think we all need this book right now. I know I needed it in a world where it feels very scary and dark and divisive. These books are comforting and really kind of remind you that there is some beauty in humanity. And there's a cat. Let me show you the picture of him on here. This is Kraken. You get to learn all about him. He's the Finn's familiar. And he arrives to Finn. Somebody breaks into Finn's kitchen in the middle of the night, gives him this kitten, and leaves on a rainy, dark, stormy night. And you get to watch Kraken grow up, and there's an entire chapter in the first book that is all from the perspective of Kraken the cat, which is great. And then in the second book, you get to see the fruits of that. These books are very seamlessly written. They go really nicely together. Don't just read the first one because you do need to pick up the second one. And there's a third one, and apparently Delamock also has other witch books. I think there's a series called The Burning Witch, so I don't know what that's about. I have no idea. But I will definitely be reading more books by this author because they have done such a great job at what they do. And I'm big into cozy fantasy. I don't know if any of you have read The Spell Shop. That's a really good book too, and that's another cozy one, and it was described to me as a cup of hot cocoa. And then I'm about to read another book called The Teller of Small Fortunes. I've been waiting for that one for a long time, and I finally splurged and just bought it for myself on my birthday. That was described as a nice hot cup of tea. And I find that I love a book that has a food or beverage attributed to it. So if this was a food or beverage, this would be a warm and comforting meal after a difficult day. So go pick up The House Witch if you need something cozy to read. I know they seem really big, but they go by so fast. And let me tell you, the chapters have titles. I don't know why this is, but I find that so many books, especially for grown-ups, don't have titles to the chapter, and I really miss that. And this has that. So if that's important to you, that might just be me being crazy, but I love that. And I don't know if anybody else thinks about this. Tell me if you do. But often if I read a book that I really love, I think, would I like this as a movie or a television series? And there are some books that I'm like, oh, I love this book. Don't ever make it into a movie or a show. But The House Witch, the more I think about it, would be a fantastic television show. Everything that happens in the book is very episodical, a lot like Anne of Green Gables, in that everything that happens is like a chapter in the book. And I think that could easily be done with this. So definitely not a movie, but a TV show, so it could keep going and going and going. I don't know who they would cast or anything like that. I just know it would be so fun to see this. Or even as an animated show, I could see this in like a anime format. Would be magical, or yeah, maybe just adult animation, but not like. Oh, I should tell you about the spice level. This has no spice. This is not a spicy book. I don't even think it would get one of those chili peppers. There is a little bit of romance in it, but it is a closed door romance. So if you're not into the spicy, this is the perfect series for you. And it has good vibes. I don't know if anybody here has read any romantasy lately. I finished listening to the Akatar series recently, and I'm in the middle of the Fourth Wing series, and they're so good. I'm loving them. We can have a discussion about that later if you all want. But the vibes are very different in these books. Cozy fantasy is there's confrontation and there's conflict, but it's different. It's not life or death. There's some lightheartedness to it. People aren't just like dying. There's a lot of darkness. It's just a different vibe. Cozy fantasy is light and lovely, and everything turns out okay. And it doesn't take itself very seriously. I find that romantasy takes itself very seriously. So this is different. So if you're looking for a cozy fantasy and you need a break from romantasy, or if you just haven't read something that's cozy fantasy, that is my genre. Anyway, this turned out to be a lot longer than I thought it would. Thank you. If you're still here and you're still listening to my book ramblings, thank you for being here. Let me know in the comments if you like this kind of content, if you want to hear more book reviews, if you like the library hauls, let me know. I will continue to do them until told otherwise. All right, everyone, stay cozy. I don't know what to say as my like sign off. Oh, I should give I haven't figured out a system of scoring yet. I know I said this about Witch Hat Atelier, but I need a system of ranking. The House Witch gets 15 out of 10 stars. I don't know. It's really good. Love it. Tip top. Anyway, thank you for sticking around. I hope you all have a lovely week. Look for me on the weekend for another video. Okay, bye.